The details seemed promising and reassuring. Braden's credentials painted the picture of a reliable and successful young man, with a future as bright as the sunlit shores of the Sydney beaches. Yet beneath this seemingly perfect facade, a sinister game was unfolding, one that would tragically alter the course of Renee's life. Renee's interactions with Braden, though confined to the digital realm, blossomed into a romance that felt as palpable and real as any she had experienced before. Their virtual engagement was filled with sweet nothings, shared dreams, and whispered promises of a future together. However, the reality was starkly different. Braden Spodire was a phantom, a figment of digital imagination, conjured by none other than Renee's trusted friend Camilla Zidane. The scheme was a convoluted web of deceit, woven meticulously by Camilla, who had taken on the guise of Braden. Motivated by reasons that remain shrouded in mystery, Camilla manipulated Renee's emotions, pushing the boundaries of friendship into the treacherous territory of betrayal. She crafted an intricate narrative, complete with fabricated details of Braden's life, to ensnare Renee in a net of lies. As the days turned into months, Renee found solace in her conversations with Braden, unaware of the duplicity that lay beneath. Her heart, still tender from the wounds inflicted by Angus, clung to the affection she believed was genuine. The specter of Braden became her refuge, a beacon of hope in her turbulent world. However, all illusions must eventually shatter under the weight of truth. Renee's world unraveled when the deception was laid bare. The revelation was as devastating as it was bewildering, leaving Renee to grapple with the betrayal of a friend she had once held dear. The realization that her confidant, the very person she trusted to heal her wounds, was the architect of her heartbreak, was a blow from which recovery seemed insurmountable. In the aftermath, Renee was left to sift through the debris of her emotions, questioning the nature of trust and the authenticity of relationships. The experience served as a poignant reminder of the duality of human connections, the potential for both profound loyalty and deep treachery. This tale of trust and betrayal raises profound questions about the nature of our interactions in an increasingly digital world. It underscores the importance of discernment and the need for vigilance in safeguarding our hearts against those who may wear the mask of friendship, only to reveal the face of a foe. There was always a flurry of concerned messages awaiting her, filled with an intensity that sometimes felt overwhelming. Renee found herself caught in a whirlpool of emotions, navigating the tumultuous waters of loyalty, love, and longing. Braden, although physically absent, loomed large in her life, his presence felt in the digital words that flickered across her phone screen and in the gifts that arrived. The accident that had altered the course of Braden's life cast a long shadow over their relationship. The memory of his friend's tragic demise lingered, a reminder of the fragility of life and the consequences of a single moment's inattention. Renee wrestled with the knowledge of Braden's guilt, yet her heart clung to the image of the man she had fallen for, hoping that the person who emerged from behind prison walls would be wiser, more attuned to the preciousness of each moment. As the months passed, Renee's world shrank to the confines of her correspondence with Braden, her dreams of a shared future, and the persistent presence of Camilla. The latter, with her constant inquiries and offers of companionship, became both a source of comfort and confusion. Camilla's interest seemed to blur the lines of friendship, hinting at a desire for something more, a possibility that Renee was not ready to entertain. The days turned into seasons, each one marked by the rhythm of letters and the anticipation of Braden's eventual return. Renee's life outside this bubble continued, but it felt muted in comparison to the vivid world she imagined with Braden. She planned the details of their wedding with meticulous care, each decision a testament to her unwavering belief in their future together. Yet beneath the surface, there was an undercurrent of uncertainty, a nagging question of whether the man she loved would emerge from incarceration unchanged. or if the experiences within would have sculpted him into someone unrecognizable. Braden's release date approached. Renee found herself reflecting on the nature of love and commitment, pondering what it meant to stand by someone through their darkest hours. Her journey had been one of patience and resilience, a testament to the power of hope in the face of adversity. In the end, the story of Renee and Braden is one of complexity and contradiction, a narrative woven from the threads of joy, sorrow, and the enduring strength of the human spirit. It speaks to the essence of relationships, the delicate balance between holding on and letting go, and the profound impact of time and circumstance on the bonds we cherish. As Renee awaited the next stage of her life, she understood that true love is not defined by the absence of hardship, but by the courage to face it together, with open hearts and steadfast resolve. In the intricate tapestry of human relationships, there are threads that bind us together, sometimes in unexpected and unsettling ways. Renee found herself entangled in such a web when her friendship with Camilla took a bewildering turn. Initially, Camilla's presence was a comfort, her constant communication a sign of friendship. Yet, as time progressed, this comfort transformed into a suffocating embrace. Camilla's jealousy over Renee's other relationships, particularly her bond with her mother Teresa, began to unravel the fabric of their friendship. The situation escalated one evening when Camilla's incessant need for attention manifested in 54 phone calls. Renee, overwhelmed by this display of dependency, confronted Camilla about her behavior. Rather than offering an apology, Camilla's response was an unexpected visit, not of reconciliation, but of confrontation. The argument that ensued was marked by harsh words, uncharacteristic of the friendship they once cherished. In an unexpected twist, Camilla attempted to cross a boundary, seeking a romantic connection that Renee was not prepared to reciprocate. Renee's firm stance on her sexual orientation did little to deter Camilla, who, with surprising persuasion, convinced Renee to engage in a physical encounter. This experience left Renee troubled, prompting her to confide in her mother, Teresa. Teresa, with unwavering support, communicated to Camilla that Renee's interests did not align with her expectations, urging her to respect Renee's boundaries. Despite this clear communication, Camilla's behavior grew increasingly erratic. Her declarations of love became more fervent, her insistence on a committed relationship more despair than affection. Teresa, observing these developments with growing concern, advised Renee to distance herself from Camilla for her own well-being. She reassured her daughter that Camilla, in time, would find her path and release the hold of these illusions. Renee, torn between loyalty and self-preservation, hesitated to sever the ties abruptly. Yet, guided by her mother's wisdom, she eventually chose to end the friendship. This decision, though necessary, unleashed a storm of emotions in Camilla, who reacted with anger and relentless pursuit. Renee's resolve to ignore Camilla's overtures strained her relationship with Braden, her romantic partner. Braden, unaware of the full extent of the situation, urged her to reconcile with Camilla, unaware of the emotional toll it was taking on Renee. As life unfolded, Braden's own struggles came to light, casting a shadow over their relationship. The devastating news of his mother's brain tumor and the violent attack he suffered while incarcerated left him vulnerable and in need of support. Renee, caught between her desire to help Braden and her need to maintain her own emotional health, found herself at a crossroads. Her parents, once again her guiding stars, advised her to carefully consider her path forward, emphasizing her well-being above all else. In the delicate balance of human connections, the heart often navigates through stormy seas, seeking the calm of understanding and the safety of genuine bonds. Renee's journey through friendship and love serves as a testament to the complexities of relationships, where the lines between affection and obsession, support and sacrifice are often blurred. In the end, it is the courage to choose one's own peace and the wisdom to let go that illuminate the path to true fulfillment. Media. Unbeknownst to Renee, this seemingly innocuous act would set off a chain of events that would further entangle the lives of those around her. The photograph, capturing a moment of solitude and reflection, was not just a casual snapshot. It was a symbolic representation of her journey towards self-discovery and independence. The image quickly caught the attention of Braden, who, despite their amicable friendship, still harbored lingering feelings. Viewing the selfie through a lens of nostalgia and longing, he misinterpreted it as a cry for attention or an indication of unresolved emotions. His reaction was impulsive. He reached out to Renee, expressing a torrent of conflicting emotions, from affection to frustration, revealing the complexity of his internal struggle. Renee, now more resolute and grounded, responded with empathy, yet firmly reiterated her boundaries. She explained that her life had moved forward, and she hoped he could find peace in doing the same. Her words were both a gentle reminder of their past and an encouragement for Braden to embrace his own future. This interaction, though difficult, marked a pivotal moment for Braden, sparking a period of introspection that eventually led him to seek personal growth and understanding. Meanwhile, Renee's relationship with Ian continued to blossom. Ian, with his calm demeanor and supportive nature, provided the stability and companionship Renee had longed for. Together, they navigated the challenges of everyday life, building a partnership founded on trust and mutual respect. Their connection was a testament to the healing power of love and the importance of finding a partner who truly complements one's spirit. Renee's parents, witnessing her transformation, felt a sense of relief and pride. They had watched their daughter emerge from a tumultuous period with grace and strength, and they admired her ability to maintain compassion and kindness towards Braden despite the difficulties they had faced. Their initial skepticism of Ian gradually turned into appreciation as they saw how he brought out the best in Renee. As the months passed, Renee and Braden maintained their friendship, each learning to appreciate the other for who they had become. Braden, inspired by Renee's journey, began to channel his energies into constructive pursuits. He took up writing, finding solace in the written word, which allowed him to process his emotions and articulate his thoughts in a therapeutic manner. This newfound passion not only helped him heal, but also opened doors to a future he had not previously imagined. Renee, on the other hand, found joy in her career, which flourished as she embraced new opportunities and challenges. Her experiences had taught her resilience and adaptability, qualities that propelled her professional success. She became a beacon of inspiration for those around her, demonstrating that personal setbacks could be transformed into pathways for growth. In the tapestry of life, the threads of Renee's story wove a narrative of love, loss, and rebirth. Her journey was a reminder that relationships, even those that end, contribute to the rich tapestry of our existence. They teach us about ourselves and others, guiding us towards the people we are meant to become. And in the quiet moments of reflection, as Renee looked back on the chapters of her life, she understood that every experience, every connection, had a purpose, leading her to the present moment of fulfillment and peace. In the quiet corners of a seemingly ordinary life, a storm of emotions brewed, ignited by a single innocuous detail, a pair of men's shoes casually captured in the background of a photograph. For Braden, this image was not just a trivial oversight, but a catalyst for a cascade of suspicions that would unravel the fabric of his relationship with Renee. He saw betrayal where there was none, and his fury knew no bounds. Accusations. In the eye of this emotional tempest stood Renee, a woman caught between two worlds. She played the diplomat, trying to soothe Braden's fears by clarifying that the shoes belonged to Ian, a friend, and nothing more. Yet Braden's jealousy was insatiable. He went as far as to obtain Ian's contact details, launching a campaign of harassment that Renee was powerless to halt. Despite the toxicity of the situation, a new chapter was unfolding in Renee's life. Her friendship with Ian blossomed into something profound, culminating in an engagement during the holiday season. However, Braden's relentless interference cast a long shadow over their happiness. Faced with an ultimatum from Ian, Renee stood at a crossroads. Ian demanded that she choose between him and Braden, especially with Braden's impending release from incarceration scheduled for February. The decision was agonizing, yet Renee chose to remain with Braden, convinced that he was her soulmate, a belief rooted in nostalgia and the hope of rekindling a once vibrant relationship. As Renee grappled with her tumultuous emotions, Braden confided in her about his father's intentions for him to take over the family's prosperous construction business upon his release. Renee urged him to consider this opportunity seriously, only to be met with accusations of intrusion. Braden's response was a barrage of reproaches, suggesting that Renee's interest in his future was financially motivated, casting her sincerity into doubt. He weaponized her past with Ian, branding it as infidelity, and manipulated her guilt to tighten his hold on her. Renee found herself ensnared in a cycle of emotional abuse, oscillating between Braden's moments of tenderness and his fits of anger. Each act of kindness was a deceptive lull before the storm, trapping her in a web of confusion and self-doubt. It was during this tumultuous time that Camilla, a close friend, was absent, traveling with her family in the United States. Her absence presented Renee with the opportunity to sever ties with Camilla, whose controlling nature had long been a source of anxiety for her. Renee's decision to end the friendship was communicated through a message, urging Camilla to treat her as a stranger henceforth. As February unfolded, Braden informed Renee that he would be unreachable due to an upcoming hearing for early release. This news plunged Renee into isolation, echoing her recent estrangement from Camilla. In this solitude, Renee continued to send Braden heartfelt messages, hoping for a sign of their once-cherished bond. Yet, when a reply finally came, it was devoid of warmth, stark in its indifference. On that same day, Braden reached out to Teresa, Renee's mother, alleging that Renee was a danger to herself, sparking a conversation filled with concern. Renee reassured her mother, affirming the end of her relationship with Braden and denying any self-harm. In this complex tapestry of love, betrayal, and personal growth, Renee began to understand the profound truth that sometimes liberation lies in letting go. The narrative of her journey reflects the intricate dance of human relationships, where the interplay of trust and doubt, love and loss, ultimately shapes the path to self-discovery. In the heart of a seemingly ordinary August day in the year 2013, an unsettling narrative began to unfold. Renee, a young woman brimming with the vitality of youth, was at a crossroads. She had recently come to a profound realization about Braden, a figure who had loomed large in her life. Seeking solace and joy, she prepared for an evening with friends, a temporary escape from the emotional turbulence she had experienced. At precisely 5:49 in the evening, Renee's fingers danced over her phone's keypad, crafting a message that would echo with poignancy. It was a heartfelt plea for understanding and forgiveness sent to her mother, Teresa. Alarmed by the tone of the message, Teresa's instincts surged with urgency. She attempted to reach Renee, but her calls fell into a void of silence. Desperation led Teresa to contact Camilla, an acquaintance with whom communication had been sparse. Camilla's response was equally disconcerting, and she suggested a futile search at a location purportedly linked to Braden's sister. With no other leads, Teresa turned to the authorities, reporting her daughter as missing. The police's search yielded a chilling discovery. Renee's car was found abandoned in the desolate expanse of Watson's Bay, a place removed from the urban sprawl. Inside the vehicle lay remnants of Renee's recent past: a cell phone untouched for 2 months, a Valentine's card from Braden, and a haunting photo collage etched in dust, inscribed with the words, I love you, Braden. The Marsden family, joined by relatives, converged on Watson's Bay, clinging to hope as they searched for Renee, last seen adorned in black ballet shoes. As the police cordoned off the area for investigation, Teresa, restless and fraught with worry, attempted to reach Braden. Her calls and messages went unanswered, fueling her growing suspicion. Renee's father, Mark, driven by a father's instinct to protect and find truth, sought Braden at a detention center, only to face an unsettling revelation. No one by Braden's name was held there. From the onset of the investigation at Watson's Bay, Mark shared his suspicions with the police. Despite Renee's continued absence, technology offered a glimpse into her final moments. Surveillance footage captured a solitary figure, Renee, walking towards the precipice of a cliff. She climbed over a safety barrier, a moment of contemplation visible as she gazed at the waters below. She sent 3 final texts, cast her phone into the lives of her loved ones. The Marsden family, engulfed in grief, faced the harrowing task of accepting the possibility of Renee's permanent absence. Their anguish was compounded by a lingering mystery. Who were the recipients of her last messages? An examination of her communications revealed an unsettling pattern. In the hours leading to her disappearance, Renee had sent Braden a staggering 91 texts, yet received no responses until the moments preceding her final act. A peculiar synchronicity emerged in the messages allegedly from both Camilla and Braden. Their linguistic style bore an uncanny resemblance, and their emotional tones mirrored each other, as if choreographed in a macabre dance. When Camilla's words turned sharp, Braden's replies echoed with anger. This revelation deepened the enigma surrounding Renee's tragic fate, leaving her family clinging to threads of hope, seeking answers in a tapestry of sorrow. In the shadow of unanswered questions and unhealed wounds, a profound truth remains. The human heart is a vessel of unfathomable complexity, capable of harboring both profound love and deep despair. It reminds us that within the echoes of silence and the spaces between words lies a narrative waiting to be understood, a story of connection, loss, and the enduring quest for truth. In the shadows of a digital world where identities can be as fluid as the ether itself, a tale of deception and heartbreak unfolded with devastating consequences. The story begins with the unraveling of a complex web spun by Camilla, who orchestrated an elaborate ruse that would ultimately lead to the tragic demise of her best friend, Renee. The saga commenced with a series of text messages sent from 2 different numbers, all traced back to a single mastermind, Camilla. She meticulously crafted the identity of a fictional lover named Braden, who was believed to be the romantic partner of Renee for a span of 18 months. This intricate facade was maintained until a final, shattering message was sent to Renee's phone, ostensibly from Braden, abruptly ending their relationship and claiming a need for space. The impact of this message was catastrophic. Renee's emotional world crumbled, witnessed by her colleagues as she succumbed to a torrent of tears and trembling despair. In a moment of desperation, Renee reached out with a brief phone call to the prison, where records suggested she sought Braden's voice, an attempt to grasp the remnants of a love she thought real. But the truth was far more sinister. A search of Zidane's residence under the scrutiny of a warrant unearthed a cache of cell phones, a torn letter from Renee to Braden, and an intact letter from Camilla expressing gratitude for introducing her to a soulmate, a cruel mockery of the truth. The man in the photos, portrayed as Braden, was in fact Cameron, a bystander in this deception, his identity stolen and manipulated without his consent. For Renee, the revelation was earth-shattering. The man she believed to be her lover was a mere figment of Camilla's imagination. In a confession that laid bare the depth of her betrayal, Camilla admitted to creating Braden, not for monetary gain, but for her own perverse amusement. At the time, the legal system in New South Wales found itself shackled by the absence of laws against catfishing, leaving Camilla free from prosecution. The lack of financial exploitation meant fraud charges were untenable, yet the emotional devastation was undeniable. In 2020, Renee's parents sought justice anew, demanding a thorough investigation into the circumstances that led to their daughter's untimely death and Camilla's potential culpability. Zidane, in exchange for immunity, disclosed the full scope of the deceit. Camilla, in her defense, claimed that the fictitious Braden was a shield to veil her true feelings for Renee, asserting that their love could never be accepted by the conservative Marsden family. But to Renee's family, the breakup message was viewed as a calculated act of revenge by Camilla, a final blow after Renee severed their friendship. Camilla's obsession with Renee, coupled with her inability to pursue her as a woman, manifested in the creation of an online male persona, a distorted mirror of her own self. The tragic outcome of this deception culminated in the loss of a young woman's life. In the aftermath, Camilla chose a different path, marrying a man and embracing a life that appeared to renounce the very connections she once sought to hide. Yet the echoes of her actions linger, a haunting reminder of how fragile the constructs of trust and identity can be in a world where reality is often blurred by illusion.